पूर्णस्य पूर्णमादाय पूर्णमेवावशिष्यते। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। ॐ आप्यायन्तु ममाङ्गानि वाक्प्राणश्चक्षुश्रोत्रमथो बलमिन्द्रियाणि च सर्वाणि। सर्वं ब्रह्म उपनिषदं माहं ब्रह्म निराकुर्याम् मा ब्रह्म निराकरोत्। अनिराकरणमस्त्वनिराकरणं मे अस्तु। तदात्मनि निरते यौपनिषत्सु धर्मास्ते मयि सन्तु ते मयि सन्तु। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। श्रुतिस्मृतिपुराणानाम् आलयं करुणालयं नमामि भगवत्पादं शङ्करं लोकशङ्करं। शङ्करं शङ्कराचार्यं केशवं बादरायणं सूत्रभाष्यकृतौ वन्दे भगवन्तौ पुनः पुनः। ईश्वरो गुरुरात्मेति व्योमवद्व्याप्तदेहाय दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः। ओमित्येतदक्षरमुद्गीतमुपासीत ओमिति ह्युद्गायते तस्योपव्याख्यानम्। मनोभाववाचो भूयः यथा वै द्वे वा आमलके द्वे वा कौले द्वौ वा अक्षौ मुष्टिः अनुभवति। एवं वाचं च नाम च मनः अनुभवति। स यदा मनसा मनस्यति मंत्रान् अधीयेति अथ अधीते कर्माणि कुर्वीयेति अथ कुरुते पुत्रांश्च पशूंश्च इच्छेयेति अथ इच्छते। इमं च लोकम् अमुं च इच्छेयेति अथ इच्छते। मनो ह्यात्मा मनो हि लोकः मनो हि ब्रह्म मनोपास्वेति। मनोभाव वाचो भूयः। मनः mind indeed is vachah bhuyah. Bhuyah superior to vacha, superior to speech. The example is given yathave dve amalake dve va kole dve va akshau. Two amalaka fruits, two kola fruits or aksha fruits. Musti anubhavati. When these two fruits are in the feast, when the feast feels it, experiences it, encompasses it. So how the feast, when there are two amalaka fruits or kola fruits, the plums or aksha fruits, So small fruits which are well known to us, which we know by touch. So when these fruits are in our feast, then we know what they are simply by touch, even without seeing. How you feel it, how you experience it, how the musti or the fist encompasses it, covers it. Evam vacham cha nama cha manah anubhavati. Similarly also the mind experiences, feels, encompasses these two, manah and vacha, the mind and the speech. Then in what way is the mind superior to speech? Sayada manasa manasyati. How the mind is instrumental in all activities that we perform. Sayada manasa manasyati. So when with the mind he carries on an intention. In the mind when he has an intention. Mantran adhiyeti. May I chant these mantras? Atha adhite. So before the mantras are chanted, there is an intention in the mind of chanting. Only when that intention takes place, that the act of chanting takes place. Karmani kurviyete. May I perform these rites or rituals? Atha kurute. The point is that every action is preceded by the manasyanam, the intention to perform that action. Then only an action proceeds. So different examples are given how different actions proceed from us as preceded by the manasyanam or the intention. Putram se pashum se ichcheya iti. May I attain the sons and the animals. Atha ichchate, then he desires, he attains them. Imam chalokam amum chalokam ichcheti. May I acquire this world and the other world. Atha ichchate, then he achieves them. Therefore, mano hi atma, because of all these reasons, mana atma, the mind itself is atma, the self. Because mind is just a self is all pervasive, so also mind is all pervasive. Or as Vashyakar will explain, only when the mind is there, that the Atma is there. When you are aware of the Atma, the mind is the upadhi of the Atma. Mano hi lokaha, the mind itself is this world. Mano hi Brahma, mind itself is Brahma, all pervasive. Mano upasvaiti, therefore, He Naradaji, may you meditate upon the mind as Brahman. So Vashyakara explained Manaha. So what is meant by Manaha, Manas, by the Shruti? So from the different examples that the Shruti gives, that Manasa Manasyati, by mind Manasyati, what is Manasyati? So he intends. Mantran adhiya iti, mantra adhiya, that may I recite mantras, then it recites. So then by the mind is meant that particular vritti, the particular state of the mind, the particular mode of the mind which is characterized by intending. So manaha manasyana vishishtam antahkaranam. By the manaha, we do not mean the whole antahkaranam, the whole mind. We mean the mind characterized by the faculty of intending, and so having power of thinking or the power of intending. Vacha bhuyaha. Because other things are also manaha. Next one will be sankalpa, that also is thought in the mind only. So if manaha means the entire mind, then why will it be sankalpa? So next passage says sankalpaha vava bhuyaha manasaha. Sankalpa is superior to manas. Now, manas, it means the flow of thoughts. If it includes all the thoughts, then it is mind is superior to mind. That's what will happen. Therefore, Bhashyakara identifies what is meant by manas here, what is meant by sankalpa there. So, manasyana vishishtam antahkaranam manaha. So, by the word manaha, the Shruti means that more of the antahkaranam of the mind, which is characterized by manasyanam or by the intention. So, that faculty of that manaha is superior to the speech. Tadhi manasyana vyaparvat vacham vaktavya prerayati. Bhashyakara shows how this manas or mind is superior to the speech, because the speech can carry out the act of reciting the mantras. Prerayati, only when the speech is prompted by the mind. So speech carries out the act of chanting provided there is a prompting by the mind. So which aspect of the mind prompts the speech? Manasyana vyaparavat manaha. So when the mind is in the mode of intending something, intending to do something, it is that vritti of the mind which propels the speech to utter. Then only the speech can utter. Tena vang manasi antarbhavati. Therefore we can say that the speech becomes included in the mind. Yacche asmin antarbhavati tat tasya vyapakatvat tato bhuyo bhavati. So how do you say that the speech becomes included in the mind? Because that thought which says, hey speech, come on, recite the mantras. So actual recital takes place only when preceded by this thought, recite. Therefore that thought of recital is a subtle state of the actual act of recital. Inasmuch as the act of recital proceeds from the intention to recite, therefore you can say the intention to recite is the subtle state of the act of recital. Just as you build a house, before the house is built, that house is in the form of a thought in my mind. That very thought manifests as the house. So you can say that the thought of the house is the subtle state of the house, gross house. And thought is much more pervasive than the house. The house is a very tangible expression, whereas thought can have any kind of forms which it will bring out. It can create a house, it can create a hall, it can create many things. Therefore, in that sense, the intention to do something is much more pervasive than actually doing. In that sense, yacham just means, so in that sense it is said that the actual act is included in the intention to act. Yacche asmin antarbhavati tat tasya vyapakatvat tato bhuya bhavati. Therefore, that which is included in something. So what includes is more pervasive than what is included. Therefore, what includes being more pervasive is superior to what is included. To explain that, Shruti gave illustrations. Yatha vai loke dveva amalake phale. Just as in our day-to-day experience, there are these two amalaka fruits. Dveva kole, other fruits like the plums. So plum also is cool. So amalaka also is cool and smooth. And from the very feel, you know it. So plums also are smooth and cool, and therefore from the very feel you know that this is plum. Or also akshau vivitaka phale. So what are the ingredients of triphala? Harda, baida, amla. So that harda, this is what is meant by akshau. Baida, harda, that harde, and then harde, Baida means but something else. The Sanskrit name is Vibhitaka. Mushti Anubhavati. How the feast? Anubhavati feels, experiences. When does it do? Encompasses, covers, pervades. Phale vyapnoti, te phale vyapnoti. The feast pervades or covers those two fruits, meaning that mushtauhite antarbhavatah. Those fruits become included in the feast. Evam vacham cha nama cha amalakadivat manah anubhavati. Similarly, just as the feast feels, experiences, covers the fruits also, the mind anubhavati covers the speech, the vacham. On the page 303, continuing with the bhashya on the line 8. Siddhanagiri, itasya manasasti bhuyastvamiti. For this further reason also, we say that the mind is superior to the speech. Bhashya says, Seda Purushaha Yasmin Kale Manasa Antahkaranena Manasyati Manasyanam Vivaksha Buddhihi Katham Mantran Adhiya Uchcharyeyam iti evam vivaksham kritva atha adhite tatha karmani kurviyeti chikirsha buddhim kritva atha kurute putramscha pashumscha इच्छेय इति प्राप्तिच्छां कृत्वा तत्प्राप्त्युपायानुष्ठानेन अथ इच्छते पुत्रादीन् प्राप्नोति इत्यर्थः तथा इमं च लोकम् अमुं च उपायेन इच्छेय इति तत्प्राप्त्युपायानुष्ठानेन अथ इच्छते प्राप्नोति. स यदा पुरुषः, यदा means यस्मिन् काले, at a given time, manasa manasyati. See, manasa manasyati. That's interesting. Therefore, that manas and manasyanam should be different. So, bhashya manasa antahkaranena manasyati. What is manasyati? Manasyanam vivaksha buddhi. So, bhashyakar gives an interesting meaning. Manasyanam vivaksha buddhi. In this case, vivaksha means vaktam ichha, the desire to speak. So, manasyanam vivaks, when the mind desires to speak. Katham mantran adhiyeya ucharayamiti. That may I recite the mantras. Evam vivaksham kritva. Thus, having entertained this intention to utter or speak. Atha adhite. Then he recites the mantra. So the Tika says Vivaksha. So Manaschanam Vivaksha Buddhi. Vivakshatmika Buddhi ityartha hai. Vivakshatmika means what? That buddhi or the mode of the mind of which the nature is vivaksha, vaktam the desire to speak. Then the Tika says in line 30, Manasyana shabdasya ichartha trujanta nishpatte. The interesting thing is, how did Bhashyakar interpret the word Manasyanam as vivaksha or desire to speak? Or intention to speak, in fact, desire to speak. So this Tikakara says, Manasyana shabdasya ichartha trujanta nishpatte. Somehow the Tikakara sees how the word Manasyana is derived by adding trish pratyaya, which ichartha, all of this is new to me. So number one, how you add trish pratyaya to what? To get Manasyana. And how does trich mean ichha? That also, trich is always in the sense of the agent, karta. Ichartha, trich pratyaya. So it's a research somebody can carry out. So, Manasyana shabdasya, the word Manasyana, nishpatte is derived from ichhad trujantad. So adding trish pratyaya in the sense of ichha or desire, the word Manasyana is derived. Therefore, Bhashyakara interprets Manasyanam Vivaksha Buddhi, or Vivakshatmika Buddhi, that mode of the mind in which there is a desire to speak. Ichha Vishesha Rupa Vivaksha Yogyatvat Tena Shabdena Grihita Ityartha. So, Ichha in general means desire. What is Vivaksha? Vaktam Ichha, desire to speak is Vivaksha. Therefore, desire to speak is a particular kind of desire. Desire in general. So, desire to speak, desire to do, desire to recite, desire to go, desire to etc. So, desire is in general desiring. But desire to speak is a particular kind of desire. So, Ichha Vishesha Rupa Vivaksha. Vivaksha or Vaktam Ichha is a specific kind of desire. Yogyatvat Tena Shabdena Gruhita. So Shruti says, Sayada Manasa Manasyati Mantran Adhiyayati. So when he does, so what is Manasyati? Mantran Adhiyaya. May I recite the mantra? Means what? There is a desire to recite the mantra, intention to recite the mantra, or desire to recite the mantra. Because an action is preceded by a desire to perform that action. So one would recite something, provided that act of recital is preceded by a desire to recital. Without desire, an action cannot proceed. It's taken for granted that every action is preceded by a desire in the mind to perform that action. So act of recital also must be similarly preceded by a desire to recite. So since Shruti says, Sayada Manasa Manasyati, so Manasyati should be interpreted as desire to speak or recite. What Manasyati? Mantran Adhiya iti Manasyati. That may I recite iti Manasyati. That means Manasyati means what? So Vaktum Ichchati Vivakshate. That he desires to recite. Therefore, Manasyati is a particular kind of desire. Therefore, since the act of recital must be preceded by a desire to recite, therefore Manasyati should mean a desire to recite in this case. So Bhashyakara says, Manaschanam Vivaksha Buddhi. So Shruti alone knows what Manasyati means. So Bhashyakara says, so Manaschanam Vivaksha Buddhi. So more than the grammar, for in this interpretation, more than grammar, there seems to be the statement of Shruti, Yada Manasa Manasyati. What Manasyati? Mantran Adhiyayati. Katham Manasyati? May I recite the mantra? So Manasyati means what? Desire to recite. So when he desires to recite by his mind, so Manasyati means what? Desire to recite. That's what Bhashyakara says. Katham mantran adhiya ucharayameti. So may I recite the mantras iti. Evam vivaksham kritva. Having thus entertained a desire to recite. Atha adhite. Thereafter he recites. Tatha karmani kurviya. Again, in his mind there is a desire, another particular kind of desire. What? Karmani kurviya. May I perform this action or perform this ritual. So now it's chikirsha buddhim kritva. So that the vivaksha buddhi. Here it is chikirsha buddhi. What is chikirsha? Desire to do kartam ichha. So thus when that is, in short, so manasyanam is need not be only vivaksha buddhi. It varies. Manasyanam means a desire to do something, that's all. Intention to do something. So every action is preceded by intention to do that action. The action of recital is preceded by a desire to recite or intention to desire. So also the act of performing ritual is preceded by the desire to perform that action. Chikirsha buddhim kritva. With the desire for performance of an action. Atha kurute. Then, so every time the desire changes, then putramsha, pashumsha, ichchayeti, prapti ichcham kritva. So may I acquire this progeny and the cattle. So prapti ichcha, the desire to acquire them. Then atha ichchate. So ichcham kritva ichchate. That is interesting. So Bhashyaka ichchate means what? Prapnoti. So ichcham kritva, having desire, the desires, no. Having desires, he fulfills the desire. So therefore, ichcheye, may I desire. Ichchate means what? He fulfills the desire. How can you fulfill the desire? By performing action. What kind of an action? A specific kind of an action which is conducive for fulfilling the desire. So may I perform this ritual? Then, or may I attain the progeny and the cattle? Then tat prapti upaya anushthanena. He undertakes the specific activity for attainment of the progeny and the cattle. So ichchate means what? Putradin prapnoti ityartha means he attains the progeny, cattle, etc. Tatha imam cha lokam amum cha ichchayeti upayana ichchaya. So when a person says, may I attain heaven, then upayana ichchaya. He desires to attain the heaven by undertaking a particular means which is conducive to attain the heaven. Agnihotradi karma. So tat prapti upaya anushthanena ichchate. It's again prapnoti. He attains heaven or whatever world he wants, he attains that by performance of this specific means or ritual for attainment of that world. Look at the tika in the line 32. Yadyapi vāgapeksha bhuvestartham Vāg vyāpara adhyan hetutva matra iha vaktavyam. So Shruti says, Manovāva vācho bhūyaha. The mind is superior to speech. Meaning that the Bhashyakara said, Taddi manaschana vāpāravad vācham vaktave prerayati. It is a mind which is possessed of the intention or desire to speak, impels the speech to speak. So that is enough to say that the mind is superior to speech. So yadyapi vāpa agapeksha bhuvestvartham vāg vyāpāra adyan hetutva matram vaktavyam. It was enough if Shruti had said that it is a mind characterized by the intention impels the speech to perform the action. Speech. So the speech is impelled by the mind. So that which impels is superior to what is impelled. So mind is superior to speech. That should have been enough. Then why does he say that, oh, may I perform this action and may I attain progeny, may I attain this world? Nadu krutyadi hetatvapi. There was no need on the part of Shruti to further say that the mind is also responsible for performance of rituals, for performance of various activities to acquire the progeny and cattle, or performance of rites for attaining heaven, etc. There was no need to say. For establishing that the mind is superior to speech, there was no need to say all other things. Tathapi manasa upasyattvaya sarvavyavara hetutvena tat stuti kriyate iti drashtavyam. So, when Shruti says sayada manasa manasyati mantran adhiyeya iti, that's enough. The subsequent description is to say how mind is responsible for prompting all activities. Not only the activities of recital, but sarvavyavara hetutvena. That mind or the faculty of desiring, faculty of intention is the cause of all the vyavahara, all the activities. So no activity of walking, talking, eating, drinking, no activity will take place unless it is preceded by a desire to perform that particular action. So desiring mind, intending mind, it what propels every activity. Therefore, mind is a great entity. Without that, nothing can take place. That's how the stuti, the mind is thus extolled in this way. Because mana upasvaiti, because mind is to be meditated upon. And what you want to meditate upon must possess that greatness. So you must have a respect, a reverence for what you want to meditate upon. So meditation is not merely an act of concentration, but meditation is the act of concentration with devotion, with reverence, because it is devotion which is the binding element. So what binds the mind with the object of meditation is the glue is the devotion. And therefore, bhakti is very important for, in those days, reverence, put it this way. So, love is not mentioned here, but at least the glory, the object of meditation is glorified. So you have a great reverence for that. You are in awe of that object you are meditating upon. So that then becomes the binding agent. Something should bind the mind with the object of meditation. Then meaning that bondage should be stronger than other bondages. Mind has bondage with millions of things because of the asakti or attachment. Therefore, the attachment to which it wants to, the attachment to God must be greater than all the attachment. That's the idea. The purpose of listening to katha, listening to glory to the Lord, is to create the attachment for the Lord. Mahatma Jnana Purvastu. So it is believed that when you have the knowledge of the glory or the greatness, then sneha, then an attachment or a bond is created, love is created, reverence is created. It is nature of the mind that mind is always hero worshipper. Mind is hero. Everybody wants to worship hero. I may claim that my hero is superior to your hero. So my God is superior to your God. All right. Ultimately, all heroes are worshipped. Whether they are film stars or cricketers or politicians or whatever they are. Why do people vote? Hero worship. I don't think that they worship because it's this program and that program and stuff. I don't think people even understand those things. But somehow if you can create in their mind that here is a hero, which Modi was able to do, then everybody voted for him. This other fellow did it, they voted for him. So these BJP fellows were not successful, or they did not maybe realize, or they took for granted that he is already a hero. So therefore you need not do much about it, which turned out to be wrong. Other fellow worked harder and created the image of a hero. And so everybody just went there, that's all. I don't think that people in India are so mature and so intelligent and thinking. I don't think so. Most of the voters don't think. You just think the person whom you like, that's all. And so who exhibits some qualities which you respect or revere, that's all. Well, all over the world it must be so. But particularly people are less educated and less thinking. So they say the election shows how people are choosing. What people are choosing? Nothing. They choose Lalu Prasad Yadav also. They choose everything. Kya baat hai? So people will choose anybody who is able to create in them this notion that I am the hero. I'll solve all your problems. So next time these people should try to project this person as a hero, successfully project. Otherwise in India you won't win election. People are not thinking people. They are all emotional people. Go after. So everybody will forget. Cricket is all they will remember now. Everybody will be forgotten now. All Kejriwal, everybody gone for next, whatever weeks are there. So now the cricket, the stars, all film stars are all forgotten. SRK and company, they can come and go, but what matters now is what Shikhar Dhawan, whatever, or whoever those people are, That's how the mind is. Mind is hero worshipping mind. Therefore, for worshipping, you must have that idea that, oh, this is reverential, this is great, this is wonderful, this is most amazing, this is inspiring. So for meditation, you should have an object which is inspiring, which invokes your reverence. Better than that, which invokes your love. That's the best. But I don't think Upanishad, this love business is there. It is more the idea of inspiring, greatness, glory. There was to the glorification of what it is that you want to meditate upon. And therefore, sarvyavahara hetutvena tastuti kriyate drashtavyam. Therefore, even though all that was necessary to establish that the mind is superior to speech, all that was necessary to state was that mind impels the speech. And therefore, mind is superior to speech. But the Shruti proceeded to say how the mind impels not only act of recital, but then act of achieving the cattle and progening of this world and that world, or performing variety of activities for stuti, for extolling the mind, how great the mind is, that it prompts or impels every kind of activity. No activity can take place without the mind. Mind is so great. Tikakara continues, Putradi prapti ichhayaha tassadhana anusthana ichha dvara tallabha hetutam ichcheti anena vivakshitam. So even though Shruti says putramscha pashumscha ichcheya, literally it means may I desire progeny and cattle. Atha ichchate, then he desires. So when somebody says may, he desires putra and pashu. Means what? Putradi prapti ichhaya, merely desire doesn't accomplish anything. Tat sadhana anusthana ichha dvara. So first there is a desire to achieve something, such as progeny, such as cattle. the next that desire is translated into the desire to perform a particular action which is a means of achieving that cattle or progeny. Desire to go to Rishikesh is then translated as a particular desire of flying or traveling by train, then a particular desire of purchasing tickets or booking the tickets, etc., then particular desire to go to railway station or whatever. So all along, the final desire, main desire of achieving, going to Rishikesh is followed by the desire to do whatever it is necessary to reach Rishikesh, which is traveling. Similarly, desire for putra, progeny, desire for pashu, the cattle, doesn't stop there. It translates itself into the desire to perform the variety of rituals which are the means of attainment of the progeny, attainment of cattle. So putradi prapti ichhaya tat sadhana anushthan ichha dvara. So that desire for achieving or acquiring progeny is fulfilled through the desire of performing the action which is means of fulfilling the desire. Ichha dvara. So anushthanit, sadhana anushthan ichha dvara tal labha hetutam ichhaya iti ananavya. So that's what Shruti intends. When Shruti says, may I desire the progeny, it means that may also perform the right action which is means of fulfilling that desire. So praptam ichchami. We don't have that reading here, but anyway, so putramsha pashum ichcheti prapti ichcham krutva or praptam ichchami, whatever. Iti tat prapti upaya anushthanan ichchade putradin prapnoti ityartha. So tika se anusthana ichcha phala paryanta vivakshita. So you will perform the action required for attainment of progeny and cattle. How long will you perform action? Until your desire is fulfilled. Therefore, the desire to perform, the desire to undertake the means to fulfill, that also desire continues. For example, the desire is to go to Rishikesh. For Rishikesh, you must travel, desire to travel. The desire to travel will persist until you reach Rishikesh. So travel is sadhanam, the means of reaching Rishikesh, fulfilling the desire to reach Rishikesh. That desire for implementation of the means, travel, will continue as long as you reach Rishikesh. So anusthanicha phala paryanta vivakshita. The desire for performance of something, action, is until the final result is attained. So when you reach Rishikesh, then the desire to travel will come to a stop. Until then it will continue. Until you reach this, you ride a rickshaw or a chatka, what is it? Chakra. From Haridwar to Rishikesh, Until then this is all continued. Then you reach the ashram. Then no more desire to undertake the means. So, in darshanam putradin yuktam, so putradin prapnoti ityartha. That he maintains the desire until the desire is fulfilled. Evam uttaratrapi vyakhyanam drashtavyam. In short, you can fulfill the desire only when you implement the means for fulfilling the desire. So desire to achieve a goal is followed by the desire to do whatever is necessary to achieve that goal. And the desire to do the means continues until that goal is achieved. Again, upayatah ichchayati. So tatha imam cha lokam amam cha upayana ichchaya. It says upayatah ichchayati. That is different reading, looks like. Upayatah prapnavamidi prapti ichcham krutva. So may I attain this world and the other world by performance of this particular ritual. Manasa sarvavyapar hetutvam manasya rupatvat uktva. Manasa sarvavyapar hetutvam. How the mind is hetu, the reason for all activities. Why? Manasya rupatvat. Because mind is of the nature of manasyanam. Mind is of the nature of intention. Mind is the nature of desire. Therefore, mind is responsible for all activities which are always preceded by desire. Idi uktva. So glorification of mind, that it is the means of performance of all activities. Then sarvatmakatvam cha, further, the mind is sarvatmam. Sarvatmakam means it is the self of all. Stutyarthameva. So stuti or the praise of the mind is further continued. Manohi atma, it is Bhashyakara says. Manohi atma atmanah kartrutvam bhoktrutvam cha sati manasi na anyatha iti manohi atma ityuchyate. Manohi atma, that's interesting. The mind itself is atma, the self. So manohi atmanah. Why do you say mind is atma? Atmanah kartrutvam bhoktrutvam cha sati manasi nanyatha. Atma means here the ahankara, jivatma. That when am I am a karta, I am a doer, I am an enjoyer. So when do I have these notions about myself that I am a doer, enjoyer, speaker? So doing and enjoying are in kartrutva and bhoktrutva. So may I have the progeny, may I have the cattle. So he performs the action kartrutva. Then ichyate prapnoti, he attains that, then that is bhoktrutva. So this description here describes the Atma as karta and bhokta. Typical the Mimamsaka description of desiring, performing an action and fulfilling the desire. So this whole activity of desiring, performing action, fulfilling desire, enjoying the fruits is possible only when the self is karta and bhokta. Karta is the agent of action, bhokta the agent of enjoyment or experience. So atmana kartrutvam bhoktrutvam cha. So these are the important things there. Any notion about Atma is possible only when there is mind. Sukhitvam, Dukkhitvam, all of this is possible only when the mind is there. But what is relevant here is Kartrutvam, Bhoktrutvam. So doership and the enjoyership of the Atma, Sati Manasi, only when the mind is there. Nanyatha, when the mind is not there, as in deep sleep state, when the mind is not there, there is no Kartrutvam, no Bhoktrutvam. When you wake up, the mind is there, then Kartrutva is actually in the mind. Atma doesn't have Kartrutva. Atma is actionless. So where is Kartrutva? Where is sense of doership in the mind? But because of the habitual identification that the self has with the mind, ahankara vimudhatma kartahamiti manyate. Habitual identification. Mind is there, I habitually identify with the mind. Mind is happy, immediately I brand myself happy. Mind is unhappy, immediately, habitually, I brand myself unhappy. So in fact, Shruti wants us to become free from this habit. Habitual identification is there. This is habit from the time beginningless. They have a shift the identification. The whole idea of Upanishad is, so all these states of superiority are shown is to shift the identification. from nama to vag and to manah and to sankalpa, etc. Ultimately, you identify with bhuman, bhuma. And so, it is this kartrutva, bhoktrutva are in the mind. But because of the habitual identification, the Atma, the Self, looks upon himself as karta, bhokta. So, sati manasi, only when the mind is there, that this kartrutvam, bhoktrutvam is possible, nanyatha. Iti manohi atma. In short, the mind is like the minister which does all the vyavahara for the Atma. So in a secondary sense, the minister also is called Raja, but he does everything for the king. So in secondary sense, the minister also can be called a king. Similarly, it is mind that does all activities for the Atma. So in secondary sense, you can say mind is Atma. Because minister was not there, the king could not do anything. If mind was not there, the Atma could not do anything. In that sense, in a secondary sense, the mind is called Manohi Atma. Mind is indeed Atma. It is Stutyartham. Says Katham. Tasya Drishyasya Atmatmamidi Ashankya. Already we see. But mind is Drishyam. Atma is Drashta. Mind is Drishya. Atma is subject. Mind is object. How can the mind which is object can be Atma which is subject? Atma upaditvat, Atma upacharyate. Because mind is upadi, the limiting adjunct of the Atma. Therefore, in a secondary sense, mind is called Atma. Stutyartham, again, how great the mind is that without the mind, Atma can't do anything. First, how great the mind is that it is instrumental in all activities. How great the mind is that without the mind, Atma cannot do anything. Stutyartham. So Atmana kartatvam bhoktatvam, etc. All right. Sati eva. So sati eva manasi. Sati saptami. Says the Tika. Mano vikaratvat, mano gnayatvad va. And then that next one here. Okay. So Mano hi Atma explained. Now Mano hi loka. Bhashyakara says, Mano hi loka hai sati eva hi manasi loko bhavati tat prapti upaya anushthanam cha iti mano hi loka hai yasmat tasmat mano hi brahman. So, manohi loka, the mind itself is loka. So, imam lokam, amcha lokam, this world, the other world, mind itself is this world. Bhuhu, bhuvaha, swaha, mind alone is all this world. How do you say that? Sati eva hi manasi loko bhavati. Only when the mind is there, there is the desire for the loka. When the mind is there, desire to perform the rituals. When mind is there, kartrutva is there. Mind is there, bhoktrutva, the loka is there. Otherwise, the world would have no meaning at all. The end would have no meaning had the means not been there. So, sati manasi loko bhavati tat prapti upaya anushthanam cha. So, only when the mind is there, there is a desire for the mind. That's our Swami always glorifies this about human being. It's a glory of human being that human being can desire. Because of desire, all the wonderful progress has been possible, otherwise it would not have been possible. Whatever be the purpose of desire, he wants to be more comfortable than what he is. He wants to be more effective than what he is. Okay. He wants to be greater than what he is. The desire is there, and he keeps creating new things. So new restaurants are there, new different dishes are there, new clothes are there, everything new. Says, does a cow ever tell a bull, so may we go to a restaurant tonight? No. Creatures other than human beings have no desire to be different, to be better than what they are, etc. Only human being has a desire. So glorification of desire. Desire is a great vibhuti, glory, provided you manage the desire and you are not managed by desire. That's a catch there. Desire is a glory. It is an ornament for you, provided you manage the desire and not being managed by the desire. Unfortunately, this great gift of the desire is there, but because of the lack of viveka or discrimination, human being becomes managed by desire. That's the problem. Instead of managing the desire. That's all. Basic management, basic self-management is I manage the desire and not the other way around. That's all. How do you do that? So, just because desire arises, don't jump to fulfill that desire. Subject the desire to scrutiny of whether fulfilling that desire is relevant to what it is that I want to achieve. Why are they doing this? What is your quest? Don't bother why they are. What do you want? Why are you asking this question? Why are you doing this? Something in within you that makes, why do you complain? What do you want? So complaint always keeps you looking at them and you remain intact. So why this complaining fellow? Why is he complaining? What's your problem? What do you want? The fact that you are complaining, you are dissatisfied, you are not happy, is that you want something? Look at what is your quest? All the time this question. Why am I saying this? Why is this fellow? But why? Why should it matter to me what somebody else does or does not do? There's something within me. What is my quest? What is it that I want? What is it that I desire? So this question must be asked before fulfilling any desire. You want to speak a word. Before you do anything, this must be there whether or not fulfilling the desire is relevant to me. Is relevant to what my quest is? Is relevant to what I want in my life? Is it relevant? No? Then just let it go. Drop it. 90% of activities will drop. Mind will get a lot of peace. But then, the 90% of all this business is because why this and why that? What is none of your business? Why do you worry? Why is the world this way and that way? Let the world decide. Give the world the freedom to do what it is, you enjoy the freedom. But why is this and I can't have and this whole life goes into fighting and into trying to correct things, trying to correct the world. So what is your quest? It's a very wonderful question. Swami Shivananda, what is your quest? So that brings the person back to himself. That's how you manage the desire. So desire is a great gift to the human being, provided we manage. Then that desire can become the very motor, the very vehicle, the very engine to propel me to the ultimate desire. So mumukshutvam. So Vedanta says, may you recognize that the desire behind all the desires is mumukshutvam. It is desire for moksha. May you recognize that. So every time the mind keeps on chattering, its desire is moksha, moksha, moksha. I feel, because this fellow does, I feel bound. Oh, that's your problem. But we complain because when we feel bound, when do we feel bound? When things do not go our way, then we feel bound, restrained, restricted. And so I want to become free from bondage. Even when I complain or when I want to change or when I want to do anything, I become free from bondage. In imagined bondage anyway, of course. Everybody keeps on imagining bondage in their own way and want to become free. But the thing is, why are you imagining that bondage? What's the problem? Go into the root of the thing. That's what Vedanta does. So, moksha me bhuyat ichcha. The desire behind all the desire is desire for moksha. If you keep on fulfilling this other stuff, then that desire remains intact. It never gets fulfilled. Forget about doesn't get addressed. Fulfillment will come. Provided we recognize that what I want is this, then someday you will do something. Desire will be translated into doing something. And that doing something will translate into achieving that. Achievement will happen provided I do it. And doing will happen provided I understand it. And so, stutyartham, that's how. So, what is it? Imam chalokam, amam chalokam, upayana, ichcheti, tat prapti upayanusthana ichchate, prapnoti. He attains that. So, Tikakara said, so, sati eva hi manasi loko bhavati, tat prapti upaya anusthanam cha iti. Mano hi loka. The mind itself is loka. Why? Only when the mind is there is a desire to attain that loka. Desire to perform the appropriate means of attaining the loka. And ultimately, attainment of the loka. Even loka itself is projected of a mind. And then, desire for that loka. And upaya for that fulfilling desire. And attainment of that loka. All of this is there only when the mind is. So Tikakara says, Mano vikaratvat, mano jneyatvat va lokasya. Lokasya mano vikaratvat. The loka, heaven is nothing but a vikara. It's a projection of the mind. Vyavaharik projection. Two kinds of projections are there, Vyavaharika and Pratibhasika. So all this is nothing but projection. What projection? Vyavaharika projection, meaning equally projected to everybody. Ishvara Sushti you can call it, projection of samashti mind, but projection nevertheless. So mano vikaratvat, mano jneyatvad va, or only when the mind is there, that you know that there is a loka like that. Lokasya manah adhinatvam. In that sense, the loka is mano adhinaha, meaning it is controlled by the mind. So, loka is there only when the mind is there. So, it is the mind that controls the loka. Mind is what creates the loka. Mind is what attains the loka. The loka means these different realms are completely subservient to the mind. Loka prapti upaya jnana karma anushthanasya tad adhinatvad va, or other way of saying is loka prapti upaya jnana karma. So what is loka prapti upaya? How to attain swarga? By jnana and karma. So swarga can be attained by performing ritual as well as performing the meditation on devata. So this jnana karma or karma and jnana, the ritual and devata meditation becomes the means of attaining that specific loka. And that also, tadadhinatvat, that also is only dependent upon the mind. It is the mind that performs the ritual, it is the mind that meditates. So therefore, vijnanam yajnam tanute karmani tanutui picha. It is vijnanam, or this mind, which performs yajna and other rituals. So therefore, Bhashyakara said, tat prapti upaya anusthanam cha sati manasi. Only when the mind is there, the loka is there. Only when the mind is there, the anusthanam, the performance of the appropriate means is there. Iti manohi loka yasmat. So that is why the mind is said to be loka. Uktaritya tasya sarvatmakatvat sarvatmaka brahmatvam yuktam. Uktaritya tasya sarvatmakatvat. So, by the way, explained earlier, how manohi atma, manohi loka. So, mind is atma, mind is the loka, mind is everything. So, therefore, uktaritya tasya sarvatmakatvat. So, in the manner in which it is described, mind is sarvatma, meaning what? It is the self of all pervasive. Therefore, sarvatmaka brahmatma vyaktam. So, between mind and Brahma, there is similarity. What? Pervasiveness. Brahma, of course, means all pervasive. But in its own way, the mind also possesses the attribute of pervasiveness. Not as pervasive as Brahma, but still also pervasive. Therefore, sadrusha is there, pervasiveness is the sadrusha, similarity between the mind and Brahma. Therefore, mana upasvaiti, we meditate upon mind as Brahman. Okay. Om Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Shankaram Shankaracharyam Keshavam Badarayanam Sutrabhashyakritau Vande Bhagavantau Punah Punah. Ishvaro Gururatmedi Murti Bheda Vibhagine Vyomavad Vyapta Dehaya Dakshinamurtaye Namaha. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om. Shri Gurubhyo Namaha.